Good morning, welcome to RecSys 2016. My name is Shilad and I'm one of the general chairs of RecSys.
Happy birthday, RecSys. I'm Werner Geyer. Welcome to RecSys 2016. I'm the other general chair. And Shilad and I are very excited and honored to host RecSys 2016. It's the 10th anniversary of RecSys for you this year. RecSys has come a long way the last 10 years. It started off based on a series of workshops and summer school 2006, the late summer school 2006, on the present and future of recommender systems. And I believe we will learn a little bit more about its origins and the history of RecSys at the conference banquet tomorrow evening at the Museum of Science. While the name in 2006 suggested there was no past, only a present and a future, we most certainly do have a past now, and we are celebrating this 10th anniversary of RecSys with a special paper track this year on the past, present, and future of recommender systems, and you will hear a bit more about that from the program chairs very soon, who will be on stage in a little bit. Back in 2006, RecSys had a limit of 60 attendees, not RecSys, the summer school in 2006 had a limit of 60 attendees. We are about at 10 times that size today. And this is a screenshot of the program of the very first RecSys in Minnesota in 2007. The program has become quite complex since then, as you can imagine. And it is thanks to this vibrant community, thanks to you, that RecSys has been flourishing. These 10 members of the organizing committee or the program committee of the 2006 summer school and the first RecSys in 2007 are among us today, I hope at least. And these are Joe Constant, Dietmar Janach, Derek Bridge, Barry Smith, Peter Brusilowski, Bamshad Mobasha, Diane Cosley, Robin Burke, Paul Lamia, and Francesco Ricci. Actually, I was going to ask them to stand up and give an applause, but you guys were much faster. Maybe you guys could stand up anyway, the 10 of you, so that the rest of the crowd could get a sense who you are. And let's give them another round of applause. We also gave them little ribbons. I'm not sure they attached them to their badges, but you can ask them about the origins of RecSys anytime at the conference if you find them. And I also wanted to say, of course, these are not the only people who created RecSys, and I put them up here because they are here today. And again, if I forgot someone, please raise your hand now. Click. No? Yes. So this is where we are today. As I mentioned, we have 560 attendees this year registered, and we are sold out. Actually, it's the third year that we are sold out. People from 43 countries attending. We had 411 submissions across 7 categories, submission categories. So not only papers, but everything else. We had 362 workshops. The workshops were sold out. 23 student volunteers. We have 18 sessions at this conference on 2 tracks, 60 papers in 3 categories. I think there's a total of 112 overall contributions for you that you can attend at this conference. So that's pretty impressive. And also we had a record number of sponsors this year, 16 sponsors. And I think this is you now. This is a little bit sluggish.
So Werner talked a little bit about the quantity of the program here, but it's also a tremendously high quality program. Starting off with 3 keynotes. The first one you'll hear in just a few minutes. And we've tried to pick keynotes that span a very wide range of topics. Some are in RecSys's home field, very close to kind of what we have traditionally done, and they'll talk about recent advances and challenges. And other are much more far-reaching, so hopefully that'll stretch how you think about the work we do in this community. For the first time ever, our industry chairs had a public call for industry participation, and we had a review process around this. And this has resulted in an amazing industry program that's going to be shown in 3 different sessions, so look for those sessions. And like many SIG-Chi conferences, we're going to be using a web and mobile app called Confer. And you can find a link to Confer on our program page. So if you go to our program page, you'll see it's linked there in red. And if you click on that link, it'll ask you to log in. And if you log in on Confer, it takes a few minutes. You can star some of the talks that are interesting to you, and Confer will actually recommend other sessions and talks you might want to attend. We're also going to be piloting one new experimental feature of Confer that I want to encourage all of you to use. It's called Meetups. And so after you've logged in, you'll see that there's a tab up there on the upper right that says My Meetups. If you click that, you can enable it, and Confer will actually recommend people who you should connect to. We especially encourage the folks that are more established in this community that have been to a few RecSyses to use this feature and try to reach out to some names that you don't recognize. We'll have a lunch organized around kind of what Confer deems to be our interest groups on Sunday. Okay, and with that, I'm going to turn it over just for a few minutes to our wonderful program chairs, Jill and Pablo. You go first, Jill. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. My name's Jill Frayne. I work with the CSIRO in Sydney, and I was one of the program chairs for this year. The 2016 program, given that it was the 10-year anniversary, gave us a little bit of scope to be creative with the program. And as Werner said, we introduced a new track this year looking at past, present, and future. So we threw out a call to the general community and received a lot of really good quality submissions around where we've come from, what industry wants next, what the academic world wants next, and some things to think about. So we've put 3 tracks where we've got past, present, and futures papers. And there's one tomorrow morning, which has 6 papers together, and there's also some papers this morning. So those are really papers that are looking for good discussion, looking for good arguments, and proposing new ways forward that, as a community, we should listen to and to try and respond to. For the first year this year, we also looked and asked people to nominate their paper as being an algorithm-focused paper or an application-focused paper. Some of this was just of interest to see where the community felt they were aiming for. It also gave us an opportunity to look at where the submissions were coming from, the turnover and success rates of the different groups, and also allowed us to balance the program because we know that some people in the room are much more interested in the algorithmic side of things, and others more interested in the application, the translation, and the evaluation of those systems in the real world. For the first year this year, we've been allowed to put oral presentations of short papers. RecSys has some very high quality short papers that usually get poster presentations. We've been allowed this year to run a full parallel program, and that allowed us to give those short papers a proper audience and proper interaction and a little bit more attention than they would normally get. We had 294 submissions this year, and so the submissions are growing but quite consistent. And I'm going to hand over to Pablo, who's going to tell you a little bit more about the acceptance.
Thank you, Jill. So this is the outcome of the review process. These are the figures broken down by type of paper. So we had 159 submitted long papers, of which 29 were accepted, which means the acceptance rate was 18.2. Out of 110 short papers, we accepted 22. So this is so means that 20% were accepted. And in the new past, present, future track, we had 25 submissions, and we accepted 36% of them. To put in context these numbers, you can see here the figures for the past 6 years, divided by long papers on top and short papers below. You can see that there has been a growing trend in the total number of submissions. And the acceptance rate has remained stable over the years for long papers, around 20%, even though this year it has been a bit below that percentage. For short papers, the growing trend of submissions has been stronger, which has meant that getting a short paper accepted has become more and more difficult. So this year, the acceptance rate reached a minimum of 20%. If you wonder where the accepted papers come from, you can see here in this map what are those countries. So we received papers in total, we accepted papers in total from 21 countries. The colors indicate the number of authors of each country. The top country was USA with 80 authors. Second was Italy. Third was France, then Taiwan, Netherlands, and so on. We also checked the keywords submitted, entered by the authors, and it's interesting to take a look at the top keywords. We can see that they are more or less evenly distributed among papers, and we see that some, let's say, common topics in the community, such as collaborative filtering, metrics factorization, context, they are still there, evaluation, trust, cold start, explanation. And it's also interesting to see the rise, which I guess will not surprise you, of new topics such as deep learning and neural network. Actually, if we add these two together, they would be the most frequent topic along with collaborative filtering. Machine learning, also maybe related to this, has also increased a bit this year. Finally, like every year, we give two Best Paper Awards, one Best Paper Award and one Short Paper Award. So we, first of all, we selected a short list of candidates for these awards. So 3 nominees for Best Long Paper, 3 for Best Short Paper. We made this public, and you can check the sessions where they are being presented if you want to see these presentations. The winners will be announced tomorrow at the banquet. So I would like to ask for an applause for this. So this is it for the technical program. I really hope that you enjoy the sessions. Thank you once again for submitting your papers, for helping us with reviewing, and for being here. And I will hand it back to Werner.
All right. Thank you. Is this on? I hope so. Talk a little bit about logistics to help you navigate the conference. You have your program guide, so a lot of information is in there already. But just let's go over a few things that are not in there too today. So meals and food. So we'll have a lot of food at RecSys this year. We have morning breakfast every day for 3 days. We will have coffee breaks in the morning and in the afternoon. Lunches are complimentary. We'll talk about that in a bit. And Saturday night we have, which is today, we have a poster reception. And on Sunday night we will be at the Museum of Science at the night of the museum. Please bring your badge, because your badge is your ticket to get into the lunches, into the poster reception, and also into the Museum of Science. There you go. So this is the place where the lunches are, Walker Memorial. You can walk on Memorial Drive. I just wanted to give you a visual so you can recognize the building. Once you walk by, it's about 10 minutes from here. And lunch programming. So we have quite a bit going on there too. So lunch starts at 12:20. Today the main lunch is in Walker, but we have one breakout lunch, the women's lunch that Taurier and Karen Church organized. So thank you again for that. There's still a few seats available. So if you're interested, please go to that URL. And I think Shilad has also tweeted the URL, so you'll find this in the Twitter stream if you still want to sign up. On Sunday, we are again in Walker Memorial for the main lunch. There's another breakout lunch. It's the Sig Chi volunteering lunch organized by Aaron Quigley. And I don't know, I cannot remember his title. because I think he's the ACM SIGCHI Adjunct Chair for Specialized Conferences, and he will be talking about volunteering for SIGCHI. SIGCHI is a non-profit volunteering organization. Everything we do here is based on volunteering, so if you're interested in exploring more opportunities around volunteering, please sign up for the volunteering lunch on Sunday. So Monday we have, again, lunch in the Walker Memorial, but on top of this we will have a birthday cake with some nice pictures on the cake, so you can take photos of that. And we will have a trivia session that Casey Dugan is organizing immediately after the birthday cake. And don't forget to bring your tickets. This is going to be tonight. It might not look exactly like on this photo, so this is very festive here on this photo, but it's a beautiful setting. And we'll see you there at 6:30 tonight for posters and for demos. And we'll have heavy hors d'oeuvres and open bar at the reception tonight. Museum of Science is tomorrow night. That's where we're going to have the Best Paper Awards, as Pablo mentioned. And we're also going to give out the RecSys Challenge competition prizes tomorrow night there. And we will have a round of toasts by our inaugural members, also at the banquet. And there will be buses bringing you there. Actually, I don't think the weather is going to be perfect tomorrow, so you might want to make use of that. And the buses will be leaving here at MIT, Amherst Street, on the side of Kresge, on that side of Kresge, and at the Hyatt, starting at 6:30. Okay, so this, I need to point now. So we are here. That's where the buses leave for the Museum of Science tomorrow night. And this is where the lunches are. This is where the beautiful Walker Memorial is. So the easiest way for you to get here is actually you exit the building, make a right, go on Amherst, cross the street here, and then walk over here. And then, as Jill and Pablo mentioned, we have 2 tracks this year, 2 full tracks at the conference, and the other 2 parallel tracks are very close by. So when you leave the building, you make a left, and then you go over to, today it will be Sala, the room, Saturday and Sunday, and on Monday we will be in Mezzanine Lounge. But both of these rooms are in the Stratton Student Center to your left when you exit the building. And just to make this more visual, this is what you will see to your left, and the fastest way, because you can sometimes easily get lost in Stratton Student Center, I think we will have student volunteers there also to help you guide. But it's not very difficult. The easiest way is to go up the stairs here, then enter the building here, and then Sala will be actually to your left on that floor. And then inside there is stairs. That's only for Monday, of course. There's stairs. You go up 1 level, and then there's mezzanine also on the left side. Yes, one thing I wanted to mention. Today, parallel sessions are starting after the keynote today, and we have our industry session in Sala today, right? Whereas here we have the algorithm session. It's the first session here in Kresge. So, and we move forward. And if you need help, look for the orange T-shirts. So these are our awesome student volunteers. And Amy and Bart are our SV chairs. So if the student volunteers can't help, then talk to Amy and Bart. So Amy here in the room, maybe you want to get up? Maybe all the student volunteers, do you want to get up? So people can see you. And actually, that was your part.
Thank you.
I messed up our schedule.
No. I was supposed to take over at the thank yous. I have plenty of thank yous to go around. I have the easy job. So I think all the other student volunteers are working hard. We have over 20 of them. So we want to thank a few people. First, the organizing committee. If you're a member, we have, I think, 27 people on the organizing committee. If you're a member of the organizing committee, will you please stand up? And how about a round of applause for the organizing committee? Thank you, organizing committee. They've done a fantastic job. And we'll thank people more carefully at the end of our closing remarks. I'm going to hit some buttons here. No. We also want to thank the authors and any other volunteers, the reviewers, anyone else who volunteered their time. So how about a round of applause for those people, please? Thank you. And we also wanted to thank one other person who could not be here today, but was an inaugural member of the very first, founder of the first conference, John Riedel, who passed away 3 years ago. He was my advisor, and I knew him well, as did many people in this room. And I can personally say that I would not be here without him, and he had a tremendous effect on my own research, and I think that's true for many people in the room. So if you're at an event, you can just imagine him smiling or telling a story, laughing, asking an amazing question from the audience. These are all things he did well. So you may have noticed that we have provided all your meals for you, starting from now to when the program closes. And this is a tremendous luxury, and we have amazing food. We could not have done this without all our sponsors. So I'm going to go through our sponsors, and I hope you will join me in saying thank you. So our diamond level sponsors were Google, Spotify, and Alibaba. Thank you. Our platinum sponsors, we had 4, Netflix, Quora, Pandora, and OpenTable. Thank you. Our gold supporters were Target, Criteo Labs, Microsoft, Amazon, Zalando, and Medium. And our silver supporters were Demandware, Silver Egg, and Yandex. So we also had some special supporters. IBM Research provided space and staffing for the workshops. MIT has offered this space to us, and we've had amazing help from Kathy Levine and Megan Westcott. I don't know if they're here, but MIT's event staff is fantastic. If you have a conference to organize, I recommend them. The NSF sponsored our doctoral symposium. Zing sponsored the challenge, provided data and prizes, and of course, our parent organizations, the ACM and SIG-Chi. Thank you to all of them. So if you have something to say about RecSys, say it with this hashtag, please, so that we can all enjoy it. Hashtag RecSys 2016. And with that, I'll get to the beginning of our main program, and I would like to, it's my great pleasure to introduce Claudia Perlich. Claudia Perlich is the chief scientist at Distillery. Distillery is a company that analyzes billions of user impressions to provide digital media intelligence to companies. And she captures one thing I really love about this community. She has a deep, on-the-ground expertise in applied machine learning, particularly in the KDD conference, where she's won 2 Best Paper awards. She's been general chair, and she's a 3-time winner of the KDD Cup. But she also is recognized for her vision in industry. So she's been named one of the 100 most creative minds. She's won 2 different 40 under 40 awards, and she's won a People Choice Award. So she brings together these 2 different features that I think this community really cares about. Before I invite her up, I want to say, if you have any questions as she's talking, she's happy to take them. There are 2 student volunteers. Could you stand up, the 2 student volunteers? They can race a mic to you and just raise your hand. They'll bring a mic over so that you don't have to work your way out. Okay, and with that, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Claudia Perlich. Thank you.